The Alcazas is a middle-class family that lives in a two-floor bungalow type in Toronto. Umar Alcazas, 58-year-old, and wife Zainab, 57-year-old, has been married for 27 years. They have two daughters named Sanam and Aliyah. Sanam had been married to Ali for 5 years. They have a 4-year-old son named Zain, who is just about to begin preschool. While Aliyah had been married to Fayez for 2 years, they have a son named Amar, who is 2 years old. The house has 6 bedrooms, the master bedroom, 2 bedrooms for the daughters and their husbands, and the two remaining in the grandchildren's room. There is also a small office on the first floor. The family is also involved in the community and are well known in the neighborhood for holding gatherings on special occasions. They're originally from Iran and have migrated to Canada 25 years ago. Their religion is Muslim. Omar is a math professor in university. 5 years ago, he started to notice his hands trembling and cramping several times while teaching. He also started experiencing extreme fatigue. He decided to visit their family doctor and was referred to a neurologist who diagnosed him with Parkinson's at the age of 53. The disease has progressed over the time. Solving lengthier equations on the board became challenging and time-consuming due to his hands trembling and poor posture. This led to Omar falling into mild depression. His family got worried about his mental health and convinced him to seek help from a therapist. After a few months of therapy sessions, he slowly went back again into his routine. He also found it helpful to use the PowerPoint in preparing his notes instead of writing it on the board. The house has also been slightly modified to remove all the rugs. They also made Umar's office in the first floor as his bedroom so he does not need to climb up and down the stairs. In addition, they added a shower chair and grab rails to make it safer and easier for him to shower. The commonly used utensils in the kitchen are placed in a more accessible locations. Fast forward to present time, Umar has now trouble carrying out his responsibilities. He feels sadder that he could not play with his grandsons, who are old enough to go to the park and are in the most adventurous period of their lives. He had to file for an early retirement because of his condition. Umar also have trouble walking. He now uses a walker as per physiotherapist's recommendation. This drove Umar into depression again. Zainab, on the other hand, is also feeling stress. Zainab feels guilty leaving Omar by himself at home, and she now barely spends time with her friends. Zainab, who is also a professor, has no choice but to lessen her workload from university. Their insurance pays the medical bills. They still go to the mosque, but not as frequent as before. The daughters have finally have enough money to buy a house, but are afraid and guilty to leave due to their father's condition. The family decided to hire a private male caregiver to take care of Omar during the day. Omar is not sure about this because he's not comfortable having a stranger to take care of him. Omar also continues with his therapy session to address his depression. He also goes to physiotherapy sessions to help him with mobility, improve balance to avoid falling, and improve level functions for activities of daily living. The family is very worried and uneasy about the future. They are hoping that hiring a caregiver and participating in therapy sessions would help them with the transition and maintain Omar's quality of life. This is the eco-map of Alcazar's family. As you can see, the inner circle is Umar and Zainab. On the outer circle, we have the daughters, son-in-law, grandsons, caregiver, work, Parkinson's, the therapist. Work, on the other hand, friends and community gathering. The daughters, son-in-law, and grandsons have two lines since the connection is very strong and mutual with husband and wife. Work also has a strong connection to Umar, but has stressful lines because he started having difficulty teaching and ended up retiring early. The caregiver has one line with Umar because Umar is still doubtful about a stranger taking care of him. That's why there's also a stressful line. Parkinson's is both connected to husband and wife and has a stressful lines since his illness have changed their lives. Therapist, on the other hand, has a moderate connection with Omar, and the connection is mutual. Zainab, on the other hand, also has a moderate connection with her work. The feelings are mutual, she likes to work, and work gives her joy. Friends has one line to both Umar and Zainab, but only has a moderate connection. And lastly is the community gathering, where you can see that there is a broken line since they don't do a lot of social functions ever since Omar's illness. Hi, Mr. Omar. My name is Mary, one of the nurses in the community. Thank you for taking the time to see me. How are you?
I'm good. Welcome to my home.
I would like to ask you some questions. I hope you don't mind.
No, not at all. Go ahead.
So, how long you been suffering for Parkinson's? Does it run in your family, and what are the symptoms you are experiencing?
It's been 5 years now, and I'm the only one who was diagnosed with Parkinson's. At first, it was only fatigue and my hands were trembling. I thought it was because of stress or being overworked, but then it became worse, so I went to my doctor after several tests, and I was diagnosed with Parkinson's.
So, what do you feel about the changes in your life?
It was hard because me and my family have to adjust with the changes. I had to quit teaching, rearrange the house dynamic, and hire a caregiver. To make it worse, I feel the burden I'm giving to my family.
I understand, but I can see that they have all been helpful.
Yes, they are. My wife and kids are very supportive. They drive me to my appointments and help keeping me company.
So, what do you think about hiring a caregiver?
It was difficult because I'm used to being independent, but now I need assistance with my activities of daily living. I'm grateful for my caregiver.
You must be feeling anxious about the future. How does the family member handle all this emotionally?
We all go to a family therapist. We still go to mosque and pray. I think our bond as a family became stronger. My strong faith in Allah, supportive family and friends is what makes me go through all this.
That's good to hear. Again, thank you for verbalizing your feelings to us. Gapi, Sangeeta, and Anahita are the nurses involved with Alcasa's family. They went for a visit to follow up with their current situation. The nurses have commended the family with the following. Number one, Zainab and Omar are still making effort of going to the mosque regularly and following their routines. Second, all family members are chipping in and contributing in providing care or means of care, like arranging a caregiver for Mr. Omar and also physiotherapists for improving his mobility. He is also very optimistic on his recovery and is taking initiative to exercise and work out several times a week. Both sons-in-law are also been helpful by driving Mr. Omar to appointments and running errands. And lastly, Mr. Omar is still engaging with friends and community, which helps in socialization and his depression. Hello, Mar and Zainab. My name is Anahita. Thank you for taking the time and effort in meeting me today. Omar, I would just like to say that you're doing a great job in taking initiative to exercise and work out several times. Keep it up. It will really help in preventing other health complications. Zainab, you said that you miss socializing with your friends, and I think this is a great way of keeping in touch and meeting them. It is good that you're still keeping in contact with your friends and relatives, especially by hosting gatherings, or else they will start missing you. This is also good for your mental health. It is amazing how everyone is contributing and providing care for Mar. As they say, the whole is greater than some. You all have thought ahead, anticipating the needs, and adjusted to help Umar. It shows how bonded you are as a family.